No one truly prepares you for what the first 30 days with twins feel like. Not the books, not the advice, not even your own expectations. One baby changes your world, two babies redefine it entirely. Time bends, sleep disappears, and every simple task becomes a carefully orchestrated mission. You find yourself living in cycles measured not by hours, but by feedings, diaper changes, and brief, unpredictable moments of silence. Yet somewhere between the chaos and exhaustion, something extraordinary begins to take shape, a rhythm, a strength you didn't know you had. This is not just about survival, it's about transformation. If you're stepping into the world of twin parenthood, or simply curious about what it truly looks like behind the scenes, this journey will open your eyes in ways you never expected. Welcoming twins into your life is a powerful, life-altering experience that challenges everything you thought you knew about routine, rest, and resilience. The first 30 days are intense, emotional, and often overwhelming, but they are also filled with moments of raw beauty and deep connection. In this video, we're diving into the reality of those early days, the sleepless nights, the constant adjustments, and the systems that slowly begin to bring order to the chaos. If you're expecting twins, already navigating this journey, or supporting someone who is, this is for you. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today, because no one should go through this experience feeling alone. The first 30 days with twins begin not with confidence, but with a quiet realization that everything has changed in a way that cannot be undone. The hospital room, once filled with anticipation, now feels like the last controlled environment before stepping into a completely new reality. Carrying two newborns out into the world feels symbolic, as if you are carrying not just their bodies, but the weight of a new life structure that has yet to be understood. The car ride home is often silent, not because there is nothing to say, but because the magnitude of what lies ahead is settling in. Every movement becomes deliberate, every decision carries more weight, and every moment feels heightened. The idea of routine seems distant, almost impossible, because unpredictability dominates every second. Yet beneath the uncertainty, there is a growing awareness that this is the beginning of a journey that will demand more than you ever imagined, while also giving more than you ever thought possible in return. The first night at home rarely resembles anything close to rest, as the illusion of sleep quickly dissolves into a cycle of constant attention. One baby cries, then the other follows, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in a staggered rhythm that prevents any real pause. The night stretches endlessly, with minutes feeling like hours and hours blending into a continuous blur. You begin to understand that sleep is no longer something you control, but something that happens in fragments, often unexpectedly and never long enough. The body resists at first, clinging to old patterns, but gradually adapts to this new reality where rest is borrowed, not owned. The silence you once associated with night is replaced by soft cries, shifting movements, and the quiet urgency of responding quickly. In these hours, the world feels smaller, reduced to the space around you, where your only focus is meeting the needs of two entirely dependent lives. Feeding becomes one of the most complex and consuming aspects of the early days, transforming what might seem like a simple task into a logistical challenge that requires precision and patience. Whether breastfeeding, bottle feeding, or combining both, the goal is not just nourishment, but synchronization. You quickly realize that feeding one baby at a time may double the effort, leaving you in a constant loop with no clear endpoint. The idea of feeding both simultaneously becomes not just a strategy, but a necessity for survival. Pillows, positioning, and timing all come into play, turning each feeding session into a carefully choreographed routine. There are moments of frustration, when things do not align as planned, but also moments of quiet success, when both babies settle at once, creating a rare sense of accomplishment. These small victories begin to shape your confidence, reminding you that even within the chaos, progress is being made. Diaper changes, once a simple and routine task, evolve into a continuous operation that demands efficiency and preparation. With two newborns, the frequency doubles, and the need for organization becomes immediately apparent. You begin to create stations, placing supplies in strategic locations to minimize movement and maximize speed. Every second matters, especially when both babies need attention at the same time. Over time, your movements become faster, more instinctive, as if your body is learning a new language of care. The repetition, though exhausting, brings a strange sense of rhythm, as if each change is a small step toward mastering this new environment. There is little room for distraction, as focus becomes your greatest tool in maintaining some level of control. Through this process, you begin to understand that survival in these early days is not about perfection, but about adaptability and consistency. Emotional fluctuations become a constant companion during this period, as the intensity of the experience amplifies every feeling. Joy, exhaustion, gratitude, and doubt often coexist in the same moment, creating a complex emotional landscape that can be difficult to navigate. The pressure to meet every need perfectly can feel overwhelming, especially when faced with the reality that not everything will go according to plan. There are moments when the weight of responsibility feels almost too heavy, when the lack of sleep intensifies every challenge. Yet, there are also moments of profound connection, when holding both babies creates a sense of purpose so strong that it overrides the fatigue. These emotional highs and lows are not signs of weakness, but reflections of the depth of the experience. They remind you that this journey is not just physical, but deeply psychological and transformative. Organization quickly shifts from being a helpful skill to an essential survival tool. As the unpredictability of twin care demands structure wherever possible, schedules begin to emerge, not as rigid rules, but as flexible frameworks that guide your actions. You start to notice patterns in feeding times, sleeping cycles, and moments of alertness, using these observations to create a sense of order. Even small routines, such as preparing bottles in advance or laying out clothes for the next day, become significant in reducing stress. The environment itself begins to reflect this need for efficiency, with spaces arranged to support quick responses and minimize unnecessary effort. This process of organizing is not about controlling every variable, but about creating enough stability to navigate the chaos with greater confidence. It becomes a foundation upon which the rest of your daily life begins to build. Support systems reveal their true value during these early days, as the demands of caring for twins make it clear that doing everything alone is not sustainable. Whether it comes from a partner, family members, or close friends, support becomes not just helpful, but necessary. Even small acts, such as preparing a meal or holding one baby while you attend to the other, can make a significant difference. Accepting help, however, can be challenging, especially if you are used to being independent. Yet this experience teaches the importance of shared responsibility and the strength that comes from collaboration. It is not a sign of failure to rely on others, but a recognition of the scale of what you are undertaking. Through this support, you begin to understand that raising twins is not just an individual journey, but a collective effort that benefits everyone involved. The concept of time undergoes a dramatic transformation, as traditional markers such as hours and days lose their usual meaning. Instead, time is measured in cycles of care, with each feeding, diaper change, and nap forming the structure of your day. This shift can feel disorienting at first, as the absence of a clear schedule creates a sense of endless repetition. However, over time, you begin to adapt to this new rhythm, finding a certain comfort in its predictability. The repetition, once overwhelming, becomes familiar, creating a sense of continuity that helps ground you in the present moment. This redefinition of time also encourages a deeper awareness of each moment, as you become more attuned to the needs and signals of your babies. In this way, time becomes less about progression and more about presence, reshaping your perception of daily life. Sleep deprivation becomes one of the most challenging aspects of the first 30 days, affecting both physical and mental well-being. The lack of consistent rest can lead to fatigue that feels almost constant, making even simple tasks more difficult. Concentration becomes harder, patience wears thinner, and emotional responses can feel more intense. Yet, despite these challenges, the body demonstrates a remarkable ability to adapt, finding ways to function even under limited rest. Strategies begin to emerge, such as sleeping in shifts or taking advantage of any moment of quiet, no matter how brief. These adaptations are not perfect, but they provide enough relief to keep moving forward. Over time, You begin to understand that sleep, while essential, becomes something you negotiate with rather than rely on. This shift, though difficult, becomes part of the process of adjusting to life with twins. The physical demands of caring for two newborns are significant, requiring strength, endurance, and constant movement. Lifting, carrying, feeding, and soothing both babies creates a level of activity that can be physically exhausting. The body, still recovering from childbirth, is pushed to adapt quickly to these new demands. There are moments when fatigue feels overwhelming, when every movement requires effort. Yet within this challenge there is also a gradual strengthening, as the body adjusts and becomes more capable. This physical transformation mirrors the emotional and mental adjustments taking place, reinforcing the idea that this experience is reshaping you on multiple levels. It is a process of adaptation that, while demanding, builds resilience and endurance over time. Moments of connection begin to stand out more clearly as the days progress, offering glimpses of the deeper bond forming between you and your babies. These moments may be brief, such as a synchronized calm or a quiet gaze, but they carry a profound sense of meaning. They serve as reminders of why you are enduring the challenges, providing emotional reinforcement that helps sustain you. These connections are not always dramatic or obvious, but they are consistent, building gradually with each interaction. Over time, they create a foundation of trust and familiarity that strengthens the relationship. In these moments, the chaos fades slightly, replaced by a sense of purpose and fulfillment that makes the journey feel worthwhile. As routines begin to stabilize, even slightly, a sense of progress becomes more noticeable, creating small but meaningful shifts in daily life. The unpredictability does not disappear, but it becomes more manageable as patterns become easier to recognize and anticipate. This sense of progress is often subtle, marked by small improvements rather than dramatic changes. Yet, these small steps accumulate, creating a gradual movement toward greater stability. This progression reinforces the idea that adaptation is possible, even in the most challenging circumstances. It provides a sense of direction, helping you feel less lost in the chaos and more capable of navigating it effectively. The importance of flexibility becomes increasingly clear, as rigid expectations often lead to frustration in an environment defined by unpredictability. Plans change, schedules shift, and outcomes vary from one moment to the next. Learning to adapt quickly, to adjust expectations, and to remain open to change becomes a critical skill. This flexibility allows you to respond more effectively to the needs of your babies, reducing stress and increasing efficiency. It also fosters a mindset that embraces uncertainty rather than resisting it, making the experience feel less overwhelming. Over time, this adaptability becomes second nature, shaping the way you approach not just parenting but challenges in general. Self-care, though often difficult to prioritize, becomes essential in maintaining your ability to care for your babies effectively. Even small moments, such as a brief shower or a few minutes of quiet, can have a significant impact on your well-being. These moments provide a chance to reset, to regain a sense of balance amidst the constant demands. Recognizing the importance of your own needs is not selfish, but necessary, as your well-being directly influences your ability to care for others. This understanding encourages a more sustainable approach to parenting, where taking care of yourself becomes part of taking care of your babies. The relationship between partners often undergoes a transformation during this period, as the shared responsibility of caring for twins requires increased communication and cooperation. Roles may shift, expectations may change, and new challenges may arise. Navigating these changes requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to adapt. When managed effectively, this shared experience can strengthen the relationship, creating a deeper sense of connection and teamwork. It becomes a partnership defined not just by shared responsibilities, but by shared resilience and growth. The sense of identity begins to evolve as you adjust to your new role, integrating the experience of parenthood into your understanding of yourself. This transformation is gradual, shaped by daily experiences and ongoing challenges. It involves redefining priorities, reassessing goals, and embracing new responsibilities. While this shift can feel overwhelming at times, it also brings a sense of purpose and direction that becomes increasingly clear over time. It is a process of becoming, where each day contributes to a deeper understanding of who you are in this new context. By the end of the first 30 days, there is often a noticeable shift in perspective as the initial shock begins to give way to a growing sense of confidence. The challenges remain, but they feel more manageable as experience has provided the tools needed to navigate them. There is a recognition of how far you have come, of the resilience you have developed, and of the strength you have discovered within yourself. This reflection does not diminish the difficulty of the journey, but it highlights the progress made, reinforcing the idea that adaptation is not only possible, but inevitable. The first 30 days with twins are not about perfection, control, or even comfort. They are about endurance, growth, and discovering a strength that only reveals itself under pressure. In the middle of sleepless nights and constant demands, something powerful happens. You change. You become more patient, more resilient, and more aware of what truly matters. The chaos does not last forever, but the transformation it creates stays with you. And one day, when things feel just a little easier, you will look back and realize that you did more than survive. You evolved into someone stronger than you ever imagined.